what facility management is all about. We shouldn't be asked to do something, but we should be prepared. We should have a proper plan.
Where you are handling 20 million square feet across 2,800 cities and towns and more than 6,500 branches.
Banking is a different ball game. So anything and everything is subject to audits. Electricity cost impacts almost from 10 to 15 to 20% of the total cost.
You're a PhD from JGT University.
When I started managing Reliance retail of that scale, I thought of being a PhD in this because the scale was such. I wasn't, that way you would hardly find anyone across Asia Pacific or a globe who would have 300 million square feet of a floor retail space, including, let's say, distribution center, your national distribution centers, your malls, petrol pumps, your stores for over 5,000 plus stores, all put together. Professional aha moment was when I completed my PhD and my thesis were presented to Akash Ambani, who is Mr. Ambani's son, and he spoke to me for 10-15 minutes understanding exactly what is written in that 550-page book.
How do you finalize or decide on a location? What is the strategy behind where does a location should be? How the vendor ecosystem has evolved over the 29 years of rich experience that you've had. Can you explain us how your role at ISS has been different from your earlier experiences? If you're dealing with multiple vendors across the country, how do you ensure standardization across all the locations? Today's guest is Dr. Shakti Chauhan, a powerhouse with 29 years of experience leading operational excellence across top Indian and global corporations. He holds a doctorate in facilities management and has played a key role in setting up some of India's finest BPOs, retail chains, and telecom operations. A visiting faculty, a mentor, and a leadership coach, Dr. Chauhan is on a mission to build highly compassionate and high-performing workspaces. Let's jump in. Hi, Dr. Shakti Chauhan. Thank you so much for joining us. It's an honor to have you and host you at the corner office. So you're a PhD from JGT University, and your study was particularly on the impact of facility management's operational cost on the Indian retail stores, right? So how did that help you when you were managing facility management for 4,700 stores at Reliance Retail?
I think the question is very interesting, but I have to flip you to answer because it is not after PhD I was managing. In fact, when I started managing Reliance retail of that scale, I thought of being a PhD in this because the scale was such. I wasn't, that way you would hardly find anyone across Asia Pacific or a globe who would have 300 million square feet of a floor retail space, including, let's say, distribution center, your national distribution centers, your malls, petrol pumps, your stores for over 5,000 plus stores, all put together. Then that is what came to my mind, is that why not I do something in facilities management? I don't find people, there are not enough courses, and that's where I felt that I will really do my thesis on impact of facility management cost in operating retail stores which are more than 10,000 square feet area. So it really helped me in terms of putting the knowledge together for people in case today you want to refer things about how retail operates, how the impacts of facility management cost, or what all different segments can be done. You can all refer. Today there's a document available. The second part is when you say that with such a large scale of operation, when you have very limited technological support, then what you normally do is you'll have to have these these kind of a system put together which will bring everyone together. Operation, sustainability, your team management, your effectiveness of the team, monitoring and measuring your projects, your different initiatives you'll launch with the team which are across India, and including small parts of tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 cities even sometimes.
Right.
So all that it really helped me to give a view about how we can think bigger. I will give you an example. In fact, first when I joined retail, and I was thinking that that time possibly not few thousand, but there were about 500-600 stores that time, I believe. And I was mostly a central resource, reporting into the global CEO sometimes, and every CEO which was part of my relationship. And I will go to them and ask for technological, funding. I want to have energy management software. I want to have, diesel, measurement software. I want to have this help desk software and all. So people will not listen to me because they will listen to what they want to invest in retail, the new store, the new capex. Why will they listen to me? Having this, I was spending almost 3 to 400 crore rupees in electricity. And I got my team, everyone together. I said, guys, I don't want to go and ask for money. I want we all to bring money for us. And then we started having the biggest ever energy management program we did in Reliance retail store, where we have not only created about 10 to 12% of efficiency, but every store manager was going through a training program, refresher program of energy management as an ambassador. And it was all implant to make them give 1% extra of their increment every year if they have done every quarterly energy management trainings as it is scheduled in retail. And that really helped. I was telling a store manager, the store manager is typically CEO of that store. If that store is not working and not making profit, then they will shut the store maybe 6 months down the line. So he has to be responsible for not only operation but making the store profitable. So we will tell him that if you keep your store door open for more than 1 hour, it will make you every hour it will make you pay 100 rupees or 500 rupees per hour, because the air conditioning is leaked out, and then the same amount of pressure which will create on a AC, you will have more energy consumption. So they will understand, oh yeah, this is important, because at least keep the door closed, you save that 1000 rupees if you do it 2 hours in a day. So 1000 rupees saved is straight away in your bottom line. Making that operation cost lesser. You don't need to have your air conditioning on your back of house where everyone is sitting at the back. Maybe at the lunch time is okay, or evening snacks, tea time is okay, but not all 12 hours, not on 24 hours. So there were many things, which we will tell store manager that this is what you can do. And this how this came out is all doing this diligence, collecting the data. We see that how the overall transaction is happening, what are the spike, where are the variances, and where are the major variances happening. So all this will come when you really go through, deep dive, understand, and then see that why it is required. Then you ask them, they will say that no, it is not required, and they will be ambassador of your organization. They will become facility managers for you as well.
Right.
So that is what helped me. That is what made me think. That is what made me change in the organization. And we're happy knowing that retail is never a high margin business.
True.
So therefore, you have to have ops light. You can't be having major operational head cost.
Right. So that's very, very interesting. So rather than going to the top management to ask for money, you went back to your team to cut down their
we
budget.
saved money.
You saved money.
We funded our projects.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to ask anyone. I had to go and speak to my management. Of course, said that this is last 6 month consumption.
Right.
So 2 months. This is what we have saved. We have saved almost not 100, but multiple of 10 crores of saving. And that was big thing, because it was about picking up ownership of what we're doing.
Correct, exactly, and that is extremely inspiring. And anyone listening, that is how leaders think, and that is the best example. Yeah. Moving on to banking. So banking is completely different, right? You're the country head and senior VP for HDFC, where you are handling 20 million square feet across 2,800 cities and towns, and more than 6,500 branches, if I'm not wrong. How does the capex and opex look like for banking across such a huge scale?
Banking is a different ball game. See, there are 2-3 very important and different things in banking. First, it is extremely governed and monitored by RBI, Reserve Bank of India. So anything and everything is subject to audits. The second part is, since this carries and safeguards the money of all the citizens of India, I think it is a paramount responsibility of the bank to make sure that we are available 24/7 in whatever way we need to be, because so that they can trust on us and then they can be partner with us. The third part is banking, is something very, very convenient nowadays for everyone. Therefore, you don't have an opportunity to come back. You can't just say that you will take 4 days to repair an AC or of a ATM or something otherwise in the branch. If the 3 days AC is not working, I feel someone who's coming first time may not come next time. You lose a customer. There are different offers from different bank. People will want to have the best experience again. So it's very tricky, but then I think it is very interesting as well because you get instant results as well. The banking industry is in a way have matured to some extent. Maybe 15 years before there were a different understanding. Today there's a different understanding about how operation supports the banking. There are better vendors, suppliers, partners. The span of control is quick. The technology has made us to take a call where if there's a problem in one of the ATM, you instantly come to know. Not it goes through a few layer of escalations or otherwise. You have a control room. You can find out exact location where exactly the problem is. The other part is the convenient policies of government as well has helped in terms of expanding the bank in a different ways. So you don't have to have those big operation costs to open a 5,000 or a 10,000 square foot branch to be available anywhere. Right. It can be a quick small 500,000, 1,200 square feet branch and equally effective because everything has come to the phone. So it's interesting. And it is very exciting nowadays how it is getting expanded. See the volume of a budget, if you ask me, literally has been over 1,500 crores annually when it comes to almost the kind of portfolio I was managing, and it is majorly I'm talking about the operational. It is OPEX. CAPEX was entirely different. So because it's huge, when it comes to numbers, and you can't just think of 2,800 cities across India, which organization will have apart from the banks. So you will have to think the kind of span of control you would to even have a one security guard, one ATM. If you have almost 20,000 or 17,000 ATMs, you think about 17,000 into 2 itself becomes 34,000 security guards. So look at the cost. So I think that's why it's very exciting. You possibly have to think when you need to have security guard. Do you really need to have security guard? Nowadays the situation is, do you really need to have a security guard? You go to Europe, you go to any other places, you don't find a security guard in the ATM across. And anywhere you can find ATMs across the globe. But I think there are a few more things which are yet to come to a level where we have to have that maturity, respect the human resource cost. Just because the HR cost is cheaper here, you can't just put one person across and just waste the talent otherwise. So I think these are things which needs to be done in terms of the volume. I told you, but very exciting business and very challenging to maintain these experiences for all people who are walking into the branches.
So you've not only been an India head of FM and admin, but you've gone on to provide that as a service, right? So it's 10 times more responsibility, but at the same time 10 times more difficult in terms of revenue generation as well, right? So can you explain us how your role at ISS has been different from your earlier experiences?
Yes. See, I think this was one big thing which I always wanted to experience in my life. I wanted to be the other side of the table because I always felt that when it comes to learning, the learning is the other side is more than this side, because you are in a client side, you are responsible for one particular brand, one particular organization, and then your expansion of understanding is very limited because you are all around that. But then let's say if I'm working for the X organization, I will only be responsible for X. But then if I'm working for a service provider like ISS, or let's say I also worked with JLL before, I will be having multiple X organization to work. It could be either in telecom, in a retail, office segments, different things. So their challenge is entirely different. Any kind of ownership you drive is entirely different. You cannot say that you are a profit generation now. You are not a cost center. So there are advantages and disadvantages. Advantage is that you take a call, you decide, you call the shot. You don't have to go around people to take approvals. You decide because it's your business and otherwise. Then when it comes to the disadvantages, when we are used to of spending money as a cost center and we are not seen that side of the stories, I think this is a bit of a disadvantage, because getting money from someone's pocket or an organization's pocket is not that easy, irrespective of the MNCs you work with, or your partners are a different MNCs even, both ways. The second part is, then the buck stops with you. Everything you will have, you can't go above anywhere. This everything you have to manage your team, the team below further, your clients, the growth of your team, anything and everything you used to complain about earlier is you are responsible for now. You can deliver everything, but then there are limitations. Then you have to deliver profit margins, you have to deliver targets, you also deliver the specific days you have to collect your money back, because you invest a lot of money in spending on people who are your partners, or whatever infrastructure we have implemented. So advantage and disadvantage both, but then it's again an exciting space to be in.
True. And I totally second you on that. This is a profit center now more than a cost center. The clear differentiation you can make is the number of times you've mentioned bottom line in this episode, which shows the kind of thinking that you bring to the table. Okay, so also I wanted to know that with the number of organizations that you mentioned across various sectors, the operations for a factory or a manufacturing plant would be drastically different from the ones we have already spoken about. So can you take us through how that differs from the earlier experiences that you have?
See, I think industry manufacturing segment has been a backbone of Indian growth, literally, and especially last 10 years, there has been absolute focus, not only from people who want to bring more manufacturing things in India, but also from government in last 5-7 years, when they have incentivized productions and everything. Therefore, everyone wants to bring in people or brands from China or any other manufacturing hub. We are mature as an organization, as a country, as an infrastructure, as in government of India, kind of bringing the kind of policy support to all industry and manufacturing segment. We are pretty much mature in terms of bringing sustainable manufacturing operation in India. We don't have any dearth of talent in terms of how we can operate out of India. We are in one of the best space now, and best phase also for next 25 to 30 years, that you can't look back. The fourth part is, it is a bit of a better situation when it comes to the multiple few thousand stores than multiple manufacturing organization.
Right.
You can't have error of judgment delivering services when you're into manufacturing. The kind of support the absolute focus on safety, environment, and all those factors which basically can cost a human life, right? The another part is, there are machines involved, heavy machines involved. And when it comes to the heavy machines, you can't have people who are learning. So you have to have expert deployed, and you can't take any chances. There are different protocols, there are different factory act which governs, the manufacturing industry. And, it's a very family type of feeling, because you are one part of the overall campus. You stay committed in whatever you do. People from, the plant head to the worker knows each other very well. So, the kind of effort you do as a facility manager or any organization, it is it gives you an instant results as well. So I think, it works both ways. There has to be a mutual respect to each other. I think you must know your job well. You must make sure that, you speak, understand, and take the requirement. If any change has taken place in the expectation, must specify to people. You have to communicate well, when you are taking any initiative, taking any action. Not every area of a factory is approachable, accessible to everyone. So all those things, norms, I think it is more, the factory is like a defense installations. The discipline is at the best. You can't just go haywire in terms of what is written, and you can't just follow with substandards. you have to be absolutely 100% every day, every time.
So compliance and with ESG and sustainability coming into play, I'm sure uh, factories and such facilities are much more complex to handle than your previous experiences. So yeah, it definitely makes sense. So what are the tools, if you can name some of them, which has made your life for as a facility manager easy, and which are the couple of tools which makes your life easy in terms of handling vendors?
This is interesting, knowing that today is all flooded with tools in India, and possibly every month you find a different tool coming up. But then I think I can give you some understanding. When it was all fleet operation, we used to have, Route Pro, used to have Fleet, and I think there were a couple of more which I don't remember now. When it comes to the facilities management, we'll have that, something like Maximo. I don't know how effectively it's been used now, but something on Archibus, which while taking a understanding with HDFC Bank, I think we zeroed on that to get it implemented across the bank. When it comes to procurement, there are a lot of other understanding when, say, which could be very simple to use, let's say procura, or maybe other tools which are giving you simple understanding of how, effectively with multi-location you can standardize not only the operations or execution, but also in terms of ordering, invoicing, effective, consolidation, and also making sure that your FAR, the fixed asset register, is also, updated across. And this also helps you in your, life cycle management of your assets. When you have, let's say, DLP period of 6 months or a 1 year or a 2 year warranty, you know that you don't have to spend, and then you keep a record of every spend done or every repair done in those things. You can go on some help desk tools like your FM related, just there are ample, in the market today. So all those things will help, in terms of help desk management, in terms of procurement, in terms of route, in terms of facilities, predictive maintenances, and then different aspects of FM part.
Right. So those are some really important tools or softwares which will really help the viewers understand and maybe implement it in their own way. And if I were to ask, how many vendors are you managing currently?
The vendor management is quite a big role, whereas the supply chain team management helps us in making across, getting a few options of every services. So if it comes to air conditioning, let's say, and when it comes to specific brand of air conditioning, every brand will have 1 or 2 or 3 people supporting. So there will be n number of vendors across. If you either Hitachi, you Carrier, or you just name it, Blue Star or any, and then you will have further support services in maybe 3 or 4 vendor supporting services of each. Then when you have vertical transportation, similarly it could be Otis or anyone, let's say Mitsubishi or any other brands. Similarly, there will be multiple suppliers. Then you have DG sets. It could be Cummins, Sudhir, or you just name otherwise, Kirloskar. All those people will have multiple service providers in different cities. So I can't just say that how many vendors, but then we just make sure that continuity of operation depends in terms of you have a multiple vendor support on every brand, so that you know that you don't get stuck with one person.
Right. And how do you ensure standardization? So across, if you're dealing with multiple vendors across the country, how do you ensure standardization across all the locations?
I think standardization has to be a simple word. First thing, I must have my scope of work done. What I exactly want to be delivered. If I take the example of HVAC, let's say, and if I have 5,600 stores pan India or 7,000 stores pan India, air conditioning, I want to give AMC of air conditioning. So I need to decide what exactly should be part of AMCs.
Right. Or
should I go for a CAMCs? When I say CAMCs, then I should make sure that that scope of work is very, very clearly defined in CAMCs. If it is every quarter visit, does it include the compressor replacement? Does it include the proper turnaround time, gas filling, or it is just the cleaning, or whatever it is? Let's say on those level of understanding. So when you have a one page, very clear expectation done on the scope, turnaround time, and everything, that goes to every vendor and make sure that they deliver, including and not only that, they should look on penalizing the vendor they should also look for rewarding the vendor as well.
Right.
The reason is when your services are up and running without any turbulence, I think you equally appreciate the services of a vendor as well. So you should have both things clearly documented and then go to different people. I think the execution is the only part you make sure that there is a proper sanity across.
Right. And that has to be impossible without digitization, right?
Absolutely.
So, is there a preference for vendors who are digitized?
Yes, there are. If there are vendors who are digitized and they can, though you don't have to run around for asking for invoices and follow-ups
Exactly.
or checks like backdated invoices and all. Of course, there are. See, every vendor when you have a similar percentage of your service charges, and you get these extra services as your this thing more professional, transparent. By far, you score better than many other your competitors.
Right. Okay, so those are some great insights in the vendor ecosystem. That brings us to the next part, which is the rapid fire round. So, if I may ask, what is your response to someone who says that FM leaders don't belong on the board?
I think you've not been FM leader.
Okay. What's tougher in retail admin and FM? The first 10 stores or the last 100 stores?
I think first 10, 15 stores.
First 10 stores. Optimum work hours according to you?
9 to 5.
Okay. How would you define facility management and administration in one word?
Backbone of operation.
Okay. What do you prefer, email or WhatsApp?
Nowadays, WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. Your biggest professional aha moment?
Professional aha moment was when I completed my PhD and my thesis were presented to Akash Ambani, who's Mr. Ambani's son. And he spoke to me for 10-15 minutes, understanding exactly what is written in that 550-page book.
Wow.
And he was trying to understand, and it is that complicated. I think someone who's running that empire and understanding that book is something, at least I feel that, okay, some work was done.
True. That's amazing. The most overrated jargon, according to you?
I think people say facilities management is a thankless job.
Okay. Yeah, right.
I don't believe in that.
Right. A book every facilities professional should read?
The 7 Habits of Stephen Covey. It's been really effective and still relevant in today's time. Even the evolvement and the way things are changing, but then still it makes you decide what you can do.
New real estate or renovation of an existing one? Which is your preference?
Depends where it is exactly. If it is in the mid of Mumbai and in absolute in front of the heritage place, renovation, because that feel cannot be brought into the new.
A process you believe every Indian retail store should automate?
Complaint management.
Okay.
Or helpless, you can say.
Fixed cost or variable cost? What do you love optimizing more?
See, I think when you've already done your fixed cost, it is very seldom you can change things. But whatever you are going to spend is what you can change most.
True. And lastly, banking or retail?
I will go with retail because retail has been core of my experience for over 10 plus years.
So yeah, that brings us to the end of Rapid Fire, and it has been great to have you here. Lastly, if you'd like to say any thoughts on how your experience of coming on this podcast and the corner office was?
First of all, thank you so much, Rushir, Tapasya, the whole team, who's made it possible together. It's an absolute great experience to me. And especially being in Gurgaon and having something like this I was also not aware that all this is happening in Gurgaon. And of course, I can all wish you all the success, fulfillment. I think the kind of the changes and the transformation you want to bring in the society and the fraternity, I think I wish you all, and I'm around for any help you feel that you need from me, available to support anything. And thank you once again from bottom of my heart. It's always a privilege to share your ideas where you can even inspire one person or change one person's life. I feel it is worth living. Thank you so much.
Really appreciate it. Thank you for giving us your time. It's been an honor. Thank you so much.
Equally privileged and honored. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you enjoyed this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share this with someone in admin and facilities management.